Today mostly I just wanted to talk about something. Maybe there should be a trigger warning. Is that what people do when they make videos about things? They put a trigger warning up. I think if there's a trigger warning, it's just like warning, like sad, like you might be sad watching this video, because it's just there's a bit of sadness in it. There's a bit of like kind of thing going on. Wow, that was really loud, but that's fine. Yeah, which is kind of all my videos, honestly. They all kind of have that sad tone. You're just usually, you get sad when you watch them, so subscribe for more. So I'm 20, I'm 20, and I gotta say, recently felt a little lonely. I don't know if anyone else is feeling that way. A little bit lonely, a little bit down the dumps, maybe. Yeah, it's funny because, I went to therapy for a long time. In fact, a lot of what I was doing when I wasn't making videos was doing therapy and like just trying to figure my friggin' life out. And in that time, I learned a lot of things, a lot of coping mechanisms, one of which is going out and like meeting people, because it's like you need to meet people. You need to get out there. You need to make some friends, make some connections, and you need to have like multiple friend groups. And I haven't really implored that, which is interesting, because I've done everything else, start working out, self-affirmation, you're the coolest kind of thing. But as far as like get out there, join some groups, that's where you really get me. Because it's like, the funny thing is, like where I am in New England, like this is vacation central. There's a lot of old people, and I'm not the oldest. Chump out there. So, like a lot of the things people tend to recommend for, like mood, like, bike riding, yoga, stuff like that. A lot of old people doing those kind of things. And it's like, I have no qualms with old people, but it's like, I'm 20. Like, I'd like to meet the people that are in my general, like wrinkliness of skin, which is like very little, and just like vicinity. I don't know. Is that ageist? I don't know. But like, yeah, it's like, I like bike riding, I've tried yoga, but in a group, I don't know, and it's like, how many 20-year-olds are out there doing yoga? Like, I think it's more like 30, 40-year-olds. I'm probably just being really too picky at this point, but it's like, it's really hard because like I haven't gone to college, as you can plainly see. So it's not that I can't. It's like, if you're in a college, you're in those classes, you're in that constant thing, they call it constant random interactions, something like that. Consistent random interactions, where like you're put there as an obligation, so you're not choosing to be there. I think that's it. And then you meet people, and it's like these little conversations you have, and over time that builds it. So I don't have that. So the suggestion is like, go join a group, like get in a group. But it's like, it's funny when I think of like, what are the things I want to do? Like I like movies. So, like a movie discussion group, I guess. I like writing. So a writing group. I tried to do this thing at the library where you sit down and you write with people. But the thing they don't tell you about that is that it's completely quiet and you're just writing. And there was like 4 people there. It was super awkward, not cool. I also barely got any writing done, which is not great either. So I'm not getting any writing done, and I'm not talking to anyone and meeting people. So that's even better. I think really this stems from when you get older, because when you're younger, right, like you just meet people, and you meet people like even when you're not trying to, like if you're a young kid, all you need to meet another kid is to just see them and be like, hey, do you want to go throw a football around, or like look at my Legos? And bam, that's a friend for friggin' life there. Like, that's a best friend. Okay. And it's like, as you get older, that kind of starts to go away. So like, I can't go up to another person my age and be like, hey, how you doing? Blah, 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 blah. I mean, maybe I could, but it's certainly not as easy, right? When you're younger, there's very little holding it back. And like, if you do something to them, like say, I don't know, hit them or something, like, which I'm not going around hitting people, but when you're younger, you smack this person, you run over this person's foot with a tricycle. These are really specific instances. but they forgive you. Like, they forget it even happened. Like, you go next door and they're like, and you're like, hey, you want to play? And it's like, yeah, sure. There's nothing there. But now it's like, it's a lot different. Like my friend groups that I have, which I've had mostly online. There's always these weird things. You do something and then something kind of spirals, and then that person thinks you're crazy or like not cool. And I've done this too, where like I think that person's not cool. I'm like, what the hell, man? They're not doing this and they're not doing that, and it just becomes this weird, complicated thing. Whereas it was like before, all I needed was like Legos, and you needed to like Legos, and we're like two peas in a pod, and that's it. But it's not like that anymore. So I think that's a huge part about it. And again, school helps. When you're in school, you can meet people, but at the same time, it's like you can still be in school and be like lonely as shit. You know what I mean? Like you could still be in your dorm thinking like, what the hell? I don't want to speak to anyone, or no one wants to speak to me, or yeah. You know what I mean? Because everyone has their groups, their little cliques. It's not just like, here's your free pickings of the cream of the crop people to know. Go forth and know them, get to know them. I think like if you look at my life, you would say that person is pretty antisocial, because just the choices, and it's like I'm choosing each day not to interact with people. And it's like, it's not like one of those choices, like no one asked me like, hey, do you want to be sad and lonely, or do you want to like have friends? And I was like, oh, sad and lonely, please. It was more just like, no, I'm good. I'd rather, write or like be inside or sleep all day. I'm always picking that over like going out. And even when I do go out, it's like, you're not going to meet anyone at like the grocery store or Goodwill, which are pretty much like the only two places I go to other than like Dunkin' Donuts, pretty much. So that definitely narrows my selection. But I wouldn't say that I'm antisocial. I'd say more that I'm like habitually alone. Which that sounds really sad. Bring that sad warning up again. But it's true. It's like I've made a habit of being alone and being inside. And what happens when you make that habit is that, whether you are this disgusting creature covered in muck that no one would ever want to know ever again, you start feeling like that. You start feeling like that gross little person that lives in a hole that can't go out and can't communicate with people and is like going to be alone for the rest of his life or her life. I don't judge. Or their life or whatever you want. Okay. But their lives, they're going to be alone. They're just going to be straight alone. And it starts to feel like that. And you start having like, you start picturing yourself, like I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's like, definitely I go for the goblin approach. Like, I got like really boily skin and like a hunched back and stuff like that. And I'm not even like, I'm half joking. I'm not like fully joking. 'Cause like, honestly, you do get this image of yourself, this like gross image of a person that you don't like and you really hate yourself. And that starts to spiral, and when you start hating yourself to that degree where you're like punishing yourself, or at least not allowing yourself to do the things that you want to do, then it becomes a problem. It becomes a genuine problem. And I've definitely faced that before. I think for me too, like I tend to overthink a lot of things. Like I overthink my appearance. I overthink the way I speak to people, the way I move, like I remember times when I was working at the dining hall, like there'd be times where I would literally be like, oh my God, how am I moving? Like, is my back hunched? Like, oh my, are my legs right? Oh my God. And it's like, dude, calm down. Like, chances are no one is looking at you right now. But in my mind, they're like all looking at me and being like, look at that friggin' dude over there in that black shirt. What the hell is he doing? Kind of thing. Even now, like even when I go in this video, I'm like trying to fix my hair. Like, oh shit, is the hair right? Like, oh shit, is the shirt right? Should my arms be, should my shirt cuffs, what are they called? Sleeves. Jesus. Sleeves be rolled up. Should they be tucked down? Should I do like a tank top situation? Like it's just, there's so much into it. And it's like, in reality, no one cares, but it can feel like people care, and that's the thing. And I tend to overthink a lot of stuff like that at like dinner. I was going to say dinner parties, but I'm not out here going to no parties. Places where you might have dinner, I live in a co-housing community. So we do like meals, and so sometimes I'll be there, and like at those it's really awkward. I just feel weird. I'm like, am I sitting in the right spot? I'm like in the corner of the table, like, oh shit, can they see me okay? Like, can they hear what I'm saying all right? Like, am I the center of attention right now? And like I remember there was this this lady's child, this little baby, and I I used like I think I called it I was like, oh, how old is he, or what's his name, and she was like, actually we're using like genderless pronouns. And I gotta say, I mean, I felt horrible the whole night. I was like, oh my god, I'm such a fool, it ruined the whole night for a long time, to the point where I had to go up to the lady and say, hey, I am so sorry for the thing with your baby. And she's like, no, it's totally fine. Like, she just wasn't even thinking about it. Her mind was on like, the milk she has to buy at the grocery store. Meanwhile, I'm fucking sitting there like drenched in sweat, like, I am such an idiot, like no one's gonna like me anymore. It's just, and I don't know, I guess we tend to do those things. If you're like that, hey, put a comment in the comments. Don't be mean though. Don't be mean to me. Because it's like I feel like we all have those thoughts though, where we're like, I am such an idiot for doing that. Why the hell did I do that? And just as a little thing, like I started saying silly instead of stupid. So it's like if I'm like, God, I'm fucking stupid, it's like that hits a little worse than like, I'm fucking silly. Like, you're silly, huh? I'm silly, but stupid is like, I'm a dunce and I'm wearing the dunce cap and I'm sitting in the corner, that little paper hat. I don't know why was it like a school thing, like a 50s thing? There's a lot of weird 50s things. I'm getting off track. All in all, if you're sitting at home on your phone, sorry. If you're sitting at home alone, oh, it rhymed again, shit. If you're sitting at home and you're alone and you're feeling bad about yourself, don't worry about it, because you're cool, you're awesome. You may go out and meet people, you may not, and that's totally fine, as long as you feel good about yourself and your decisions, and you're like, I'm a boss, I'm a girl boss. You might not even be a girl, but that's fine. Girl boss, killing it, a queen, a king, whatever the hell you want to be, you're that, you're killing it, and just remember you're killing it, and you're worth it, and your happiness is worth it, So, yeah. Should I do a room tour? I definitely should. Hold on. This is where I sleep. See? Like this. And this is where I put my drink when I have a drink. And I drink it like this. Fuck you, chair. This is my desk. See? And this is the time, because my phone can only record 10 minutes at a time before the file becomes too large to put on a computer. Isn't that so cool? And this is my chair. I love this chair. This is my mood board where I do mood things. I got sticky notes. I almost just fell down. Really close to falling down. More sticky notes. Tacks perched precariously on this thing. This is my fluffy table. It's fluffy, and it's a table, and it's got Cantaloupe for Leibowitz on it. Good book. Cantaloupe for Leibowitz, my favorite book. It's a children's book, actually, and it's these guys, and they get this guy named Leibowitz. They get him a cantaloupe for his birthday. And if you enjoyed that video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, because I appreciate that. And, let me know what you want me to make a video about. I'm rarely making videos these days. I'm focusing on myself. I'm focusing on other things. But if you got a great idea that you want me to do extemporaneously, I learned that word today. It means without preparation. Just like this little video I'm making, then please let me know. And let me raise the camera up so I'm not so intimidating. Hey, let me know, man. That's it. And I hope you're being a girl boss. I hope you're getting shit done, or you're not getting shit done, but you feel good about yourself, and that's really what it's all about at the end of the day. Oh God, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I did that. It's a good corner. You feel like trapped in that corner. I'm such a psychopath. Read this book. I still haven't read the whole thing, so read it for me and tell me what it's like, because I still haven't read the whole thing. All right. Have a blessed day.